Yeah, that's right. It's your boy here, Rebel Havoc, and I'm here with the Half-Azzed Rebel podcast. And this podcast is for me to help practice to get ready, or not like get to actually making my podcast again. And how I used to do these podcasts is I would pretty much have no script with minimum guidance, and they were always with just me sitting here on my mic just talking about gaming stuff. And but I'm gonna do a little something a little different here for the Half-Azzed podcast. A little bit of music playing in the background here, so go ahead with that oh yeah, you like that, don't you? Oh yeah. So usually when I start off these podcasts, I like to talk about the games that I've been recently playing, and I've been playing very few games actually recently. But I'm just going to talk about the major 3 games that I have been playing recently here. And the first game I'm going to be talking about is Monster Hunter 3U, or Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. A lot of the people who've been watching my stream lately noticed that I have been going on hunts for giant monsters to murder them brutally, to take their skin, to use them as weapons and armor. Monster Hunter 3 is a very interesting game to me because it's like a grinding challenge at the same time. It's like Dark Souls, except for it's just always boss fights all the time, always a boss fight. Now the monsters in Monster Hunter, they do have a pattern to them, but most of the skill come from the game. It comes down to instinct. Like, how well do you know that monster? When do you know this monster is going to attack? What kind of element or what kind of attack damage, like fire, poison, what kind of damage these monsters do to you, and how fast, and whether they're flying or ground or water. There's going to be an underwater fight. There's a lot of things that go into these monster hunts. I kind of do wish that they added just a tad bit more to the hunts, like you tracking down the monsters. Maybe make the environments, instead of making them segmented, because there's like loadings between each area that you go into, they could have made the area a giant area, and they could have added like tracking to it, like you track the footprints, you know, look through the grass, you know, you see slain animals, dead bodies of other smaller animals that may have eaten. But this game is really good. I really like it. There's definitely some depth to it, especially when it comes to armor and weapons too, because each armor and weapons, they have slots, and in those slots you can add these little decorations, and the decorations give you special stat bonus. And even the armors themselves, if it's like a full set or even a piece of a full set, can add benefits too, like hearing plugs, which will prevent you from flinching when the monsters scream really loud. Which I've noticed in the game, monsters do use that as a strategy to keep the player from causing damage to them. They will roar, or they will enrage themselves, which will cause themselves to roar, which will flinch the player in the middle of their attack to prevent damage, which I thought was super interesting. Super interesting. But anyway, about the armors and weapons, yeah, you get these special stat bonuses, which they will help you further in your battles against these giant monsters. And these armors and weapons, they are pretty cool looking, even though Monster Hunter 3 was a 3DS game. I'm playing the Wii U version because they ported it over to the Wii U. They look pretty cool for like a 3DS game. They have details to them. Some of them glow, some of them don't. Some of them look like those anime armor, medieval armor types. They're very interesting. The weapons themselves are huge. Pretty much they're bigger than the player characters themselves. They are also very well designed. Some of them are kind of plain looking, like the your standard giant katana, but or a samurai sword, or but then you have like the switch axes, and then their lances. The lances look pretty cool. The long swords are probably my favorite weapon, and they definitely look. They have some of the very artistic, cool looking weapons on there. Also, there is also a eating mechanic too that will give you also stat bonuses. And I don't know if you ever noticed, but all of these things add up together. You have to put these into consideration. Only thing about the eating bonus though is that you don't know what you're getting until you sit down at the table at the kitchen or the bar and eat your meal, or tell the cook what you want to cook, and then they'll tell you what stat bonus you can get. Some of them are not really that helpful for the current fight you're going to be going into, and some of them are super helpful about the current fight. It's definitely random when it comes to the food element. We going to eat food for those stat bonuses, but they do actually give you a guaranteed defense bonus, attack bonus, and a vitality bonus. They will increase your vitality. So most definitely, if you're going to be going on hunts in this game, you need to eat. But Monster Hunter 3, I will highly suggest if you are a Dark Souls player, because I feel like this game is, pretty much heavily related to that type of gamer. If you're like Dark Souls and you don't mind grinding and getting cool looking weapons and armor with cool stat bonuses that will further increase you to go further in the game, I will definitely highly suggest you picking up that game. I have had a good time with it when I was streaming here on Twitch and YouTube. The community on both sides have shown me very much love. They guide me. I'm only rank 7, Hunter rank 7, and the community has guided me and taught me the ways of the hunter, and I very much appreciate it. They have a very good community. I mean, some people make some smart remarks about the way I fight, because I don't use the dodge attack on the longsword, because I would just dodge instead of just dodging an attack. I guess you get a tad bit more damage while you're moving away. But anyway, the community has been very well. There's a lot of resources online for it to teach you. And I will say it is very, very slow to get into at start, but once you hit that fast track that you're fighting cool monsters, getting cool weapons, getting cool armor, once you hit that point in the game, it just doesn't stop. And you don't even really have to grind for armor or anything. You can just go help others, because just fighting the monsters themselves is an experience in its own. So definitely check out Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate, or you can check out the newer sequel which has been released, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. I haven't touched that one very much, but it's pretty much the same thing. I will say the gameplay is a little bit faster on Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate. There's more variety of monsters, and there are definitely a couple of added new weapons, like I want to say it's Charge Saber, or the I want to say the Insect Glade. Is it Insect Glade? I want to say that's what it is, or Lance. I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm probably all wrong, but most definitely check out either or those games. Definitely a lot of good experience. So the next game that we have on the list here is the Star Wars Battlefront beta. I played a crap ton of that, and I have very mixed feelings about the Star Wars Battlefront beta. Mostly because it is so goddamn gorgeous. Like, the game, I played it on 2 platforms. I played it on my gaming PC, and I also played on my Xbox One. And they looked good either way. The game looked good. I mean, it looked a tad bit better on my PC. There was no jaggies and all that, kind of pixelated looking. But on the Xbox One, it looks just as good. Like, if you were just going to play it on Xbox One, I think you would just be blown away just by how good this game looks. And it also runs like stupid good, like 60 frames per second, stupid good. I already knew on my PC that it was going to run really well, because I kind of got like a little mini beast of a computer. But On the Xbox One, I was very surprised at how well this game ran. The visuals are fantastic, and then the 2 maps they had, well, 3 maps if you play the single player kind of horde mode. I didn't play that at all, unfortunately. But the 2 maps I did play on, which was Hoth and I can't think of the name of the planet. It was like a lava planet. I can't think of the name. I'm sorry, my Star Wars lore is very, very low at the moment. But Hoth looked fantastic. The other planet looked fantastic. And the game modes, though, I think that's when I kind of had my problems. But actually, we're gonna go to like actual feel of the game, like how it played. I thought the game actually played very arcadey. Like, it wasn't like a Call of Duty. It wasn't like a Counter-Strike, and it definitely wasn't like Halo, and it definitely wasn't like Gears of War, because Gears of War you can play in third person in Battlefront, and Gears of War is a third person shooter also. It felt very arcadey, very fast paced, and you know, easy to pick up and play. You know, and you can master it with a good amount of time. It wouldn't take you forever to master just the basic feel and gameplay of Star Wars Battlefront. And I like that. I don't want a Call of Duty. I don't want another Halo. I wasn't expecting another Battlefield. And I definitely wasn't expecting a Gears of War type of gameplay. And I like what they did with it. It's fast, it's fun, anybody can get into it, you know, and you can master it within a short amount of time. Very good, very casual, and it is awesome just to shoot and blast people with the Imperial Blaster, or go all rebel on people in the... Hold on one second, guys. Excuse me. Back to what I was saying. It's blasting people with the Imperial Blaster, or going all rebel on people. And with the Rebel Blaster is very, very satisfying, you know. But a lot of people were probably expecting, you know, these major AAA shooters like Battlefield, Call of Duty, Gears of War, Halo. They were probably expecting that to go a little bit more in depth. I don't think this game is going to have that much depth upon release, but that's not a bad thing, really. It's really not a bad thing. You know, when you think Star Wars, you think of the movies, you know, lightsabers, Jedis, and TIE fighters, and X-Wings, and ATAs, and stormtroopers and rebels getting mowed down in Hoth. You know, you think of those exciting moments in the Star Wars game, and when I play this game, that's what I get. That is exactly what you're getting. You are getting those exciting moments from those movies, you know, and you're making them pretty much on your own. You know, you kind of like improving these battles that would happen in the Star Wars movies, and that is not a bad thing. That is excellent. Very excellent. I am glad that if you were a Star Wars fan, or you even just saw one of the movies, or if you were just interested in what Star Wars was like, you know, and you play this game, I think you would get the feel of being in the movies that this game is based off of. But unfortunately, with all these good things, and zero death is what kind of causes the problems from this beta. There is not very well balanced. Now, the 2 game modes that they had was the Assault Walker, and then there was Drop Zone. Okay, now we're going to talk about Drop Zone first. I want to say Drop Zone was more balanced than Assault Walker, because there's only 2 teams. There is only the power-ups that you bring in, or the cards, because their power-ups are on cards, and they have a cooldown before you can use them again. You know, there's only 2 teams. I believe it's 10 on 10. I want to say it's 10 on 10. It could be a little bit less than that, or 8 on 8. Unfortunately, I don't remember. But it's just 2 teams. There was no hero characters in this particular game type, and it's just whatever you bring with you, you know. And so it's pretty much like capture. I want to say capture the zone or territories in Halo. A pod will drop from the sky, and then the team will have to capture the pod and then hold it for a certain amount of time, while defending the other team from them capturing it and then them defending it. So it can go. They have a little tug of war. I've had many tug of wars in the game. I believe this was the best game type to play in the beta. Unfortunately, you can have a little tug of war going, and there have been some games where one team was one away from tying the game, because you can end the game in a draw, and then there was one team who was just trying to capture the pod so they can seal their victory. And we will be fighting over the very last pod, because if you're like in the middle of a game, it will actually spawn another pod somewhere else if your miner doesn't capture it in time. So you have two pods to fight over. But anyway, towards the end of the game, on that very last pod, there would be like a tug of war going, and one team will capture it so they can get the tie, so it won't be a loss, and then the other team will capture it so they can seal their victory, or one of the teams will actually capture the last pod when the game could have just ended in a draw. They will capture the pod, and then it will be a tug of war for the victory. Those can go on until whoever manages to capture that last pod. I don't know if there is actually a time limit today, but very exciting. I had some super exciting games during Drop Zone. And the second game type that they had in this beta was Walker Assault. Now, Walker Assault, you can kind of guess what it was about. I don't know if you ever saw, Star Wars, but I want to say they call the AT-ATs walkers. So pretty much this is kind of like the Battle of Hoth from the Star Wars movie, Battle of Hoth. And if you remember, in the Star Wars movie, the Imperial invaded the Rebels base on Hoth. And pretty much in this game type, you are playing either the Rebel, who is trying to stop the AT-ATs walkers from blowing up the shield generator, which is being led by the Imperial forces, or stormtroopers. We'll just call them stormtroopers, who are to prevent you guys from stopping the uplinks of the satellites. So pretty much as a rebel, you have two jobs. You have to first reach these satellite uplinks, get them on so they can send out a signal to the Y-Wings, which are bombers, rebel bombers, so they can bomb the giant AT-ATs. There's two on the map. They can bomb them and they will stun them, and while they're stunned, the rebels can damage the AT-ATs with their blasters. Now, if you have a special ability like the ion grenade or the ion blaster, you can do even more damage to these AT-ATs. So you are supposed to hold these satellite uplinks during a period of time, so during the bombing phase, that you can get even more time to damage the AT-ATs. Sounds pretty simple, but unfortunately, with the way the map is laid out, it is I want to say it's heavily advantage to the stormtrooper forces, alright, the Empire forces. Alright, but the Empire, the stormtroopers, all they have to do is to prevent any rebel forces getting near the uplinks, and during the bombing phase, either they will get one bomber or they'll get 0 bombers. I don't think I've ever seen them not get the rebel forces not get any bombers. You get at least one bomber, and that lasts for like 10 seconds. But if you get like 5 or 6, you can get a good amount of time to do plenty of damage. Also, you can, like, if you're a rebel, that you could suicide your plane, because they're air vehicles and ground vehicles in this mode. You can suicide your plane into the AT-AT to do a lot of damage. But that is pretty much the gist of it. Now the problem is just the balance. Now, I understand in the movies the rebels got their asses beat by the Empire forces on the Battle of Hoth. Like, actually, if you really think about it, the rebel force, you don't hardly ever see that battle in the movie. Like, it's like maybe 5 or 10 minutes that you will see of the rebel and Hoth battle. Mostly their focus is on Luke and Leia and Jesus, I can't think of the other character's name right now. But they pretty much focus on Luke and Leia getting out, and Darth Vader, he goes to the Hoth base and everything. But you barely ever see that fight. That fight doesn't even last that long. But in this game, you're they're pretty much pretending to play as, you know, you're playing as the drawn out battle above. Okay, and I will admit, you know, it's pretty fun, but you know, it sucks because the battle is so heavily advantaged to the Empire side, and it's so hard. It's kind of hard to win as a rebel. Maybe they wanted to keep it that way because in the movie that's how it happened, or maybe it's so hard for the rebels to win because we don't have all the other cards that are going to be in the actual real game that will probably be even more powerful than the cards we get in this beta. But if this is how it's going to be when the game first starts, and it won't get any more easier until everybody gets all the good stuff later in the game, that battle is probably going to be the most hated battle. And the rebels, they don't really have any kind of vehicles except for the air vehicles, and you know, you can get in the air vehicle, but if there's already Empire forces in the sky, they can easily shoot you while you're loading, while your plane is kind of like going to like a flight mode. They'll shoot you down before you actually get in control of your plane. So that can be pretty shitty for the rebels. But I mean, the rebels can do the same thing. If they're more superior forces in the sky, then they can control the sky. I think the idea was the rebels were supposed to control the sky, but you know, they also have a problem of conveying with how these objectives work. You know, there is some guy on the radar, he's like, yeah, go get the satellite uplinks. You know, he doesn't say, yeah, go get the satellite uplinks, and if you see a X-wing, jump into it and try to hold down the sky. That's going to help protect our our bombers coming down. It just says go get that satellite uplinks. But on the Empire side, though, they have air and ground vehicles. They have the TIE fighters, and they also have the AT-STs along with the AT-ATs. The giant things the giant walkers that you're supposed to be stopping. Yeah, those things, you can hop into them. You can drop death bombs, like an orbital strike, which is kind of like, you know, a A110 in the Call of Duty. You know, you can call those. You got heavy blasters, and I don't think the AT-AT has any kind of anti-air weapons, but it has like a more rapid fire type of blaster. I don't know, but it's pretty OP. Unfortunately, you only stay there for a minute, but as soon as you spawn out, you can go run back around and grab the spawn, the item pickup to get back into it, because it spawns right after you're done. So, you know, you can just keep jumping back in and just dropping hell upon the rebel forces. And while the rebels, you're just on the ground with whatever you got, you know, whether it's a heavy blaster or just a regular rebel blaster. You're just on the ground fighting, and you have anti-vehicle turrets, but the problem with that is the Empire forces can hop into the anti-vehicle turrets too. Those are not just exclusive to the rebels, though. The Empire can also jump into them and blast away, so they even get double the amount of firepower if they manage to get to those. I believe the rebels were supposed to hop into those, but you know, this is like 20 other people you're playing with, or 19 other people, including yourself, which will be 20. So, you know, it sounds like, well, the Empire forces have the tools to protect those uplinks and keep those wide bombers from coming. The rebels don't have the tools to fend off when they actually do have the links, and to keep the Empire forces off of them. Yeah. Now I understand, like I said earlier, I understand that in the Battle of Hoth, the rebels are supposed to lose. That is just how it is. But you know, when it comes to video games, you know, there has to be some kind of balance, and there has to be equal amount of chances that whether the rebels are going to win or the Empire is going to win, not just a guaranteed steamroll. Now you can win as a rebels. I've seen it. I've done it on both PC and my Xbox One. I won at least one game on each platform. PC was probably the more tactical win than the Xbox, but you know, that's just kind of my own personal opinion. But you can win, and when you do win, it's probably the most satisfying win that you will. I mean, it's pretty much like a Dark Souls type of satisfying type of win, I will admit. You know, like when you finally beat that boss that had been whooping your ass in Dark Souls, you finally fucking stab him in the throat and he's going down. Yeah, that is how it felt like when I finally won a game. Of all of those I pretty much probably had played like 50 games as the Rebels, and didn't win one until after that 50th one. And that's how much of the win. Maybe they wanted it that way, but as I always say, even though it is very satisfying, you know, and it's probably very heartbreaking, it's super heartbreaking, because I did lose one game as an Empire. I did lose one. As when I was on the opposite side. It is very heartbreaking when you do lose, because you're thinking you have such a guaranteed win. But you know, I still think they could use having more balance. Another problem with that battle is the spawns. The Empire forces can get behind the Rebel forces, so they can kill them in their spawn. That's not cool. Alright, they need to fix the spawn. That is simple, easy. They just need to fucking fix the spawn, or maybe give us a spawn shield. Also, where you spawn at as the Rebels. Like, Rebels are always spawn kind of stupid places. I feel like they spawn too far away from the uplinks, or they just have bad spots that are too far away from the uplinks. And also during the second phase, they spawn inside the base, and one of the uplinks is outside, and you can't pick that you want to spawn outside. You know, the game's just gonna be like, hey, you're gonna spawn on this base, you know, and the base uplink is already captured. You know, if I died inside the base and the uplink was already captured, I want to spawn outside to try to help whoever's out there trying to protect that satellite uplink. But you know, this is just a beta. I understand. I'm pretty sure, hopefully pretty sure that the real release of the game will be better balanced when it comes to the Walker Assault, and I'm pretty sure, hopefully, that the other maps that they have in this game are even more balanced than that one. But I have to admit that Walker Assault, though gorgeous, beautiful, with all the sounds and everything going off, they need it needs to be balanced. It's just not fun, and then when you're playing a game like this, and it's just not fun whether you not know have a chance to win or lose. So they definitely need to work on that. And but overall, I think the game is good. I definitely don't think you should pre-order this game, because if you go look at the pre-orders for the beta, they're stupid and retarded. It's $120, and you get the same thing for the things you would get for less. You know, only thing I really hate is that I guess the little pass is like $50. So I can remember, it's probably less than that, but it's very expensive, I do say. You know, but you do get all the other DLCs for it, or expansions, whatever. But definitely you got some bad pre-ordering going on. But the game is great though. Sounds great, plays great. You know, terrible balance, you know, but everything else about the game is good. It definitely sounds like Star Wars. I didn't mention that earlier. It sounds like all the sounds are authentic. Authentic, how do you say that? Authentic, yeah. All the sounds are authentic, and they are great. And it looks like I am getting some viewers here in this shitty ass live podcast. I want to welcome those guys. I can't just well, welcome you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying this. But if you have any kind of questions, you know, during this podcast, just let me know. But I will continue on now here to the next game that I've been playing, because I already talked about Monster Hunter, Star Wars, and this is the last game I have on the list, Halo: The Master Chief Collection. I have been playing it a lot too, and I actually played all three of these games on the stream. I didn't mention that. Well, I mentioned I played Monster Hunter on stream. That's probably the #1 game I've been playing. But Halo, I've been playing that one a lot. Also, I am a huge Halo fan. I've been playing since OG Xbox. You know, from Halo Combat Evolved, I played all of them, from Halo 4 to fucking Halo Reach, ODST, which is not my favorite one. Neither is Reach, but Halo Master Chief Collection, I believe, is now an awesome game to buy, especially with Halo 5 on the horizon, as soon to be released. If you don't have this game and you have an Xbox One, if you're interested in anything Halo, I have to say, you know, like as a game to be like point as a reference as a franchise, I would definitely point you to the Halo Master Chief Collection as a reference for the Halo franchise, because it is that good now. Okay, now not at first, but now it is that good of a game because not only does it include Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4, along with Halo ODST and hopefully maybe Halo Reach. It has the remakes of Halo 1 Combat Evolved and Halo 2 Anniversary Edition, where you can just press the button and switch between the old and new graphics. You can do that in Combat Evolved, but you can't do it in the cutscenes, which you could in the actual Anniversary game of Halo Combat Evolved. But on this version of Halo Anniversary, you can only do it during gameplay. But for Halo 2, though, you can do it through. You can do it. I think you can do it during cutscenes and during gameplay. But all these games run at 60 frames per second. They all have the original co-op from the games. So like Halo 1, 2, and 3. No, I'm sorry. 1 and 2 had co-op, 2-player co-op. 3 had 4-player co-op, and I want to say 4 only had 2-player co-op. They went back down to 2. While ODST has Firefight, which is a online multiplayer. And I don't know, no, it doesn't have Firefight. I'm sorry. And then, unfortunately, in this game, ODST does not come with Firefight. But also with these games, you get the original, authentic multiplayer experience as they were released from the day that they were released. As in, if you want to play Halo multiplayer, which was only on the PC for Halo Combat Evolved, if you want to play that multiplayer, it's in there. As it was when it was released, so you get that authentic Halo Combat Evolved multiplayer experience. The same for 2, the same for 3, the same for 4, and I wish ODST had the firefight in it, but it doesn't. But it also comes with Halo 4's Spartan Ops, which is a 4-player kind of horde mode co-op, which is awesome to play, but unfortunately it is not online like it was. I want to say it was online in Halo 4 originally. I need to look that up. Or somebody in chat, y'all can look it up. But I mean, the way the game works, though, I'm really want to talk about the online, because Halo is about, not only is it about the single player, but it's also about the multiplayer. You know, if there's a lot of, I know a lot of people who like Halo, and they talk about both sides of the spectrum. They love the single player. It has a great, interesting story. Master Chief, even though a lot of, some of the Halo fans don't like what they're doing with Master Chief, but I think it's good to add character to some of these, faceless one-liner characters. It's good to have character, but it has a great story, interesting characters. Even Master Chief, even though at first he was just a faceless warrior who said some pretty spectacular one-liners, he's a great character. They have some great supporting characters. And then the multiplayer, you get some great maps, some great symmetrical maps, some asymmetrical maps. The weapons are pretty balanced. There's lots of game types. There's just a lot of things about this game, and there's a reason why Halo, you hear about it. And this collection now in the current form it is the reason why this game, people like it, and if you play it, you will understand why people love Halo. But like I said, I'm really want to talk about this multiplayer, which is probably the biggest thing about Halo. I want to say the story is just as big, but the multiplayer is just a tad bit bigger because it gets very competitive online. Like I said, you get all these multiplayers as they were from when release of the games, but they have playlists. Each of the playlists in the Halo Master Chief Collection is a mixture of these games, so you can end up playing on Halo 2 in one game, and then the next match you're playing Halo 1, and then the third match you're playing Halo 3 multiplayer, and that is incredible. I don't think I've ever seen any kind of game that has done this before. Now, shout outs to Activision if you want to steal my idea. If you would release a Call of Duty collection and have the multiplayer released from when they were from each of those games, can you say cha-ching? But anyway, that is incredible. That's what I really like about this game. It just you just shuffle through these multiplayers, and really tests your Halo skills. How good of a player are you to master all these games multiplayers at once. It may be just Team Slayer, but you're playing Team Slayer in 1, 2, 3, and 4. It may be Big Team Battle, but it's Big Team Battle in 1, 2, 3, and 4. So it really tests your Halo skill. Excellent remaster release. I don't know what you want to call it, but this game is the Halo experience. And with Halo 5 coming out, definitely check it out if you have an Xbox One. Alright, and that is pretty much it for the game section here. I wasn't expecting to spend this long on the game section, but I did. I really like these games: Monster Hunter, Star Wars, Halo. They're good games. Unfortunately, you can't check out Star Wars, but you can always check out Monster Hunter 3 or 4U and Halo. Definitely check those out. So we are going to move on to just a couple of topics I want to talk about here, and I don't know what order I want to go in. There's only 3 topics, but let's go ahead and let's talk about the no fanboys, because I actually had a moment 2 nights ago on my stream right after I was done. I had a fanboy moment with a good friend of mine, actually. Unfortunately, but it was a good friend of mine, I will say. Now, I kind of always thought he was a little bit of a fanboy, but I didn't realize until last night when I had that moment with him. Now, you can pretty much guess what platform he's a fanboy, because I'm going to mention the game we were talking about. We were talking about The Last of Us. Alright, and I said we were having a conversation about the ending. Now, I don't own a PlayStation 4. I watched a Let's Play with somebody of playing The Last of Us, and Last of Us is a story heavy game. The combat is okay. I didn't mention anything about the combat. I was just talking straight up about the ending of the game, the story, with all the notes and everything. And I just said, hey, I didn't agree with so and so did at the end of the game. And he was like, how can you say that when you don't play it, or you don't even own the PlayStation 4? And I was just like, well, I watched somebody play through it because I don't own the system. I don't plan on getting the system anytime soon, so I thought it would be okay. And I watched the story, and I pretty much own the story. It was pretty much like watching a movie, except with somebody playing action combat. A couple. I'm not gonna spoil the ending, Aussie, not at all. But I told him that, and then he kind of went off on a rant, and then he started saying that's because you own Xbox and you're MS bot and all this and that. And I was like, bro, I'm not saying the game was bad, because I can't say the game is bad because I've never actually sat down and played it. I said it has a great story, and I don't agree with the ending. And he just went off, and I was like, do you listen to yourself? Like, I know you own a PlayStation, but I ain't said nothing about it. It was just really bad. It was a really bad moment. He started saying Sony this, Sony that, and I was just like, this is the reason why I don't like fanboys. I don't understand why people show these allegiance to these consoles. Now, I understand showing allegiance. I've been in the military for 6 years, so I understand what it means to have allegiance. Alright, but I don't understand when you have allegiance to an object that only turns on and off when you want it to, or plays computer games and maybe watch some Netflix and chill. Okay? I don't like fanboys. I don't want fanboys in my community. And if you are a fanboy, if you show even just maybe a bit of a side of a bit of a fanboy, I probably won't like you. Alright? Fanboys are the bane and one of the types of cancer in the gaming world. I don't understand why people show these allegiance to the console, but that doesn't mean though that you can't properly diss a console or a console maker when they make a mistake. Yes, you can diss Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo when they make a mistake, like when I'm gonna go with Microsoft, when they fucked up on the release of the Master Chief Collection. By all means, go ahead. Fucking yeah, they need to be talked. They shouldn't have fucking released that game in that in that manner, and it doesn't make the console, or the release of the Kinect, or when they were talking about the DRM when the console was first released. Alright, yes, they all as well. Or when Sony's PlayStation Network fucking always fuck it up, or when Nintendo can't get a third party to make a game for them, or put a third party game on their platform. And definitely always, you can talk about them critically that way, because those hinder us, the gamers, all of us, as a whole, but don't show allegiance to a console that you don't even, company you don't even work for. Okay, I don't work for Microsoft or Sony or Nintendo. They're not fucking paying me to show them allegiance at all. So you don't need to be showing allegiance. And if you have a friend who are showing fanboyitis, or I like to call it console fanboyitis, or whatever you want to call it, you need to properly remind them, hey, you don't work for these companies. They don't pay you for anything. Only thing that you've done with your console is to play video games or Netflix and chill. Whatever you did on that, okay? You don't need to be showing allegiance. You should really sit down and listen to yourself when you say these things, because not only are you hurting yourself, but you're making the gaming community look like we're a bunch of fucking 12-year-olds picking sides in a dodgeball game, and fucking not wanting to pick sides because so-and-so says so-and-so about so-and-so. Alright, definitely do not need zero fanboys. You need to put your friends in check, or your other gamers. And other gamers, we need to watch out for each other, and make sure that we can keep these fanboys, or people who just strangely show these strange allegiance to the consoles, let them know that, hey, you're a gamer, alright? You're not a Sony gamer, you're not an Xbox gamer, you're not a Nintendo gamer, you're a fucking gamer. Alright, you like whatever you like games. Alright, it just happened these consoles can play these amazing games, But yeah, and that's pretty much all I have to say about that topic. I want to remind you guys who is here at this live podcast. Please, if you have any questions or anything, you can ask them during. I'm still looking there at the chat. And if you want to just save them for the end, that is fine. I will let you guys know when I'm ending here, but we still got a little bit ways to go here. So the next topic I want to talk about is, well, I could have put this in the ending part, but I decided to put it in the topic here. Is my lack of gaming. I have been having lately a very severely, I want to say it's a very severe decrease of gaming, because Monster Hunter and Halo and the Star Wars beta is probably the most gaming I've done since I've actually gotten out of the military. I have not been playing many other games. I keep telling myself, you know what, I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna play Monster Hunter for you. Nope, never do it. I'm gonna be like, you know what, I'm gonna get up and play some Witcher 3. I still have yet played Witcher 3 since the update. And since the update, they fixed a lot of things. Haven't gotten up and played it. I don't know what it's coming from. Maybe I just want to take a break from gaming. But every time I want to take a break, I always think about playing something. And I get up to play something, and then I never play it. I don't know what my lack of gaming is. I'm thinking it's because maybe a lot of games just don't appeal to me as they used to. Yeah, I think I'm a very seasoned and diverse type of gamer. I've played many games, first-person shooters, RPGs, JRPGs, Western RPGs, European RPGs, strategy games, romance games, those adult games. I've played a lot of games, and recently, I guess games just don't reach out to me. The very games right now that maybe are sort of crossing the line of piquing interest, barely crossing the line, is Halo 5 and Fallout 4. Those Fallout 4 and XCOM 2. Alright, those three games, the only three games. All these good ass games that are coming out, only three of them are like crossing the line of interest peaked. And I'm maybe thinking this, maybe it's just me. I'm really thinking it's just me, but maybe these games are just not appealing to me anymore. Maybe I played so many of them, or so many different varieties of them, that the ones that I know that should be good don't even interest me. Like when I don't want to play The Witcher 3. I know The Witcher 3 is good. I've seen the reviews. I've seen other people play it, not all the way through because I still want to play it through myself. But I've seen people play these games. The game looks good, alright, and I played a little bit of myself, but nothing has gotten me to getting up to actually play it. like all the way through. I don't know what it is. I just been having this lack of gaming. What I don't know. What do you guys think about it? You can always ask me questions. What do you feel about it? But I've just been having this lack of gaming. And the third thing here for our topic section is building a community here on my Twitch channel and my YouTube channel here. I don't know what it is that I'm making difficult for people to understand, but I feel like I'm just making people difficult to understand what I want to do with this gaming community. I want to build. Okay, the overall goal is to get myself a video game website. You know, I don't really like to call out big major gaming websites because I feel like their community is going to come and attack me or something for some reason because gamers. But I don't know if you ever read like Reddit. I'm gonna name two: Reddit and NeoGAF. I read those two, probably the two biggest one. NeoGAF probably being one of the biggest gaming communities I know on the internet, and Reddit probably being the second biggest gaming community on the internet that I know. The NeoGAF is probably the biggest and probably the one everyone's heard of, you know, because they have all the connections. They even have some developers and even indie developers or game journalists. They come on their website. They use that website to connect to the gamers. Yeah, the Tomb Raider looks good. Tomb Raider does look good. I see, but I want to make websites like that, but I don't want the community that comes with those websites because they show some of those fanboyitis topics. You know, they have a lot of those fanboyitis topics, and I feel like they never focus enough on the actual games themselves. They focus on the politics and behind the games instead of focusing on the games themselves, because I always feel like that if you focus on more on the actual games themselves, then the games that we would want be made or that are be more risky to take, those games will be coming out more, but they go based off the politics and everything else that is being discussed on these giant websites. And I feel like the developers, they get a bad idea of what gamers want these days, you know. And we as gamers want developers to take risk and make new and unique experiences for us. But today, gaming can be a little bit repetitive. But I feel that if I can build a community that can look more positive towards the actual games, less at the politics, and more focused on the whole crowd of as gamers themselves, not just, you know, whatever system you get rid of the fanboyitis, I believe that I could build a solid and well-respected gaming community. Yeah, it is hard to keep it clean, and I'm really starting to notice that I will have to bear down. Honestly, I do notice that it is hard to keep it clean, and I really notice that I will have to be strict about some of the things that I want from this community. I really do have to be super strict, and the people who are going to help me, or whoever chooses to help me, I have to let them know that, hey, we have to be super strict because we want this to be a big and well-respected gaming community. We want people to come in to talk about the games that people may not like, but they like, and people to understand why they like them, you know. And slowly but surely, I am forming these ideas. You know, I'm writing things down, get things better. I want my stream to I hate to say it. I want my stream to reflect that, but the environment of Twitch and YouTube does not help me reflect that. I could start it, but I feel that maybe there are times during my stream that I could reflect these ideas, like during this podcast when I am talking about some of my issues or the games that I love. Why do I love them? Why do I go into details why I like them, or details why I feel that they're not bad, you know, but why things could be hindering it. You know, I don't think no game is inherently bad unless it's programmed bad. Like the bugs in the game just don't work and don't turn on. There's always somebody that likes the game. Hell, there's somebody out there that likes Sonic 06. Even though it's badly programmed, that's why general people don't like it. In general, gamers don't like it because it's not a very well made game. But you know what? There's somebody out there who really likes that game, and I want them to have a place for them to go where they can talk about their love for Sonic 06 without being, talk shit about for them for liking that bad game, or what most gamers would consider a bad game. You know, that's the kind of community I want. You know, when somebody like 50 Cent, Blood on the Sand, they could come to the Rebels and they can talk about how much they like 50 Cent, Blood on the Sand, without being afraid somebody's going to come in and make their day worse because they like 50 Cent, Blood on the Sand. Don't want that. Okay, I want them to have a good place. If somebody real suspected, and the reason why, and get across a message to a developer or game magazine or journalist, where this community can get a point across in a well respected and understanding way. It's going to be hard, I know, and I really believe I can do it, but I just need support. I need to build a support group around myself. You know, it's not a day I don't go about thinking about this, and I really feel like this is one thing I can do good in my life. You know, this is one positive thing that I could leave in the world after everything's said and done. But yes, building a community. So spread the word. Spread the word if you have any ideas, what I can't do. I do have some ideas, like getting you guys on the Twitch stream more involved with these podcasts, because I wish I can get you guys involved when I'm playing games, but there's so much of a hindrance, like how many people I can invite. You know, I can probably get a lot of people in my voice chat, but I can't get a lot of people in the game. But maybe get you guys involved with these podcasts, build a schedule for when I want to have a community come in. You guys come up with some topics and we can discuss them on stream. You know, I don't really need any game industry insiders. I don't really need any kind of indie or official developers. I just really want to hear the words from the gamers themselves. I understand the developers, these are the people who create it, but I feel like it is the gamers, the players, who drive this community, and who help inspire the creativity that the developers come up with. You should start a small site like your Steam group. I would, and then eventually it will grow bigger and bigger, and you'll be able to carry on to a bigger place. I do actually have my Steam group, and I feel like Steam is just too unified to the PC. That's what I feel like. Like, I could use the Steam group as the main website right now, and just post stuff on there and try to get people in there to talk about games and how they feel. And you're right, Aussie, I should start small, and I am starting small. I'm putting things more into perspective, and you're right, I should use that Steam website more. Even though I feel like it's more PC involved, anybody can actually access that Steam group, whether you're whether you're on Steam or not. Whether you use Steam or not, everybody could use that. I wish maybe I could start up a Reddit thread, but I don't even want to go on Reddit because that place can easily get invaded by people I don't want there. Maybe Steam is probably the better place. That is a very good suggestion. Honestly, I really appreciate it. And you watch my karaoke stream. Yeah, I like to keep it funny on there. 12. But you're right, Aussie. You can start as a curator. Maybe I should. Maybe I can. But I am terrible at picking games that I really like. There would be like so many games that I like. I will probably have a 1,000 lists. Probably every game of my Steam library would probably be on that curator. That's 300 something games. Yeah. But that is a very good idea. I appreciate your suggestion. I appreciate a suggestion from the community, because I want this community to be a community. Look here. All right. a little bit of truth here. All right, from Rebel. All right, Rebel. I don't want to be an internet star. This is only a part of what I wanted to do. This is only a part of it. Trying to get my name out there is only a part of it, of building the community. Because overall, I just want to have a community site. I want to have somewhere I can go when I have to read all those bullshit topics, and all the politics, So I have to get my name out there and try to get myself kind of popular amongst others, and spread the word about the stream and the podcast. But being Rebel Havoc is only a thing. Rebel Havoc is not even like a character or anything. If anything, it really is me. I am kind of a crazy person. I do crazy things, but this is only part of it. If I can just get people to come in, try to understand what I'm trying to do, I think I can start building things on it. And you're right. Like I said, I want this to be a community website. I mean, I'll run it, but I'm not gonna be like the star of the show. You guys will be the star of the show. The Rebels will be the star of the show. We can get things going. We can get things moving. We as gamers will learn together that we can drive this community into a positive direction instead of the negative direction that is somewhat going into now. And we can get things changed not only through just the gaming industry, but maybe even through legislative, once we can get a bigger, more vocal and more understanding group. But anyway, you gotta start small. You always gotta start small. But if any of you guys were having any misunderstanding what I'm trying to do, well, this is probably the best thing I can explain to what I'm trying to do. And anybody who wishes to get involved or have any suggestions, like, hey Rebel, maybe you should do like videos. I'm trying to learn how to do videos. They take a lot of time to make. This podcast actually takes a lot less time to do. Even if I didn't do it live, if I didn't do this podcast live and I just did it like offline, what I usually do, it takes a lot less time than doing a video. I wanted to learn how to do video, but I've actually learned a little bit, and it takes a lot of time just to make one video. That's why I kind of like not trying to do it, but I know eventually I will have to, suck it up and learn how to do some videos. Alright, but that was the last topic of today. Building a community was the last topic. The ending part of this podcast was just some life updates, and whether you guys have some questions for me or not. But first, I'm just gonna give you guys a little bit of update what's been going on with me. As you know, I've recently been separated for the military. I've done my time, 6 years. I've been on the look for a job. I need to start to get work because it's the holiday season. I would like to give my nephews a nice Christmas, but it doesn't look like that's gonna happen. But that's okay though. That is fine. I've also been considering what I really wanted to do, with in accordance to trying to get my projects funded. I am a very stubborn man. I am a very stubborn gamer. Alright, I can be a little bit stubborn in real life as much as I can be stubborn by fighting that boss in Dark Souls 300 times stubborn. Okay. But I've started to realize that I need to try to get some kind of funding for at least the projects, alright, and probably get me a job so I can fund the projects even more. So I have been thinking about putting a donation button and specifically putting down there that this is only for projects in the stream. The money will 100% go towards the projects or anything that helps the projects move forward, as in like me keeping my internet going. I'm not gonna lie, you do need internet to upload to YouTube and to make streams here on Twitch. So definitely I will let you guys know. I was thinking maybe putting a pie chart, linking you guys to a pie chart to let you know how much money I was being donated that month or week, and show you where the percentage of that money is going to through that pie chart. It's not going to be like a super specific pie chart. It's going to be like a, it's best of my ability type of pie chart. So you guys will understand that whatever donations you give to me will go to these projects to help me improve not only the stream but the podcast, and eventually move on to video, maybe eventually move on to getting an actual website put up. So but you know, gotta start small. I need to get a job, you know, I need to get this donate button on. I also have a Patreon page that I was making too. You know, I don't have a video to put on the Patreon page, because like when you're making it, it's like you should put a video on. I'm just like, I don't have a video. I don't know how to do video. I feel so lame. You know what? I feel so lame that I don't even know how to Photoshop. I didn't grow up with Photoshop. I grew up with Word, PowerPoint, and Excel. You know, we didn't have Photoshop when I was growing up as a kid. I grew up in the 90s. And work at a job at GameStop. The enemy? Do you want me to go work for the enemy? Is that what you want? Want me to go work for the enemy, y'all see? I actually have considered putting in applications to these smaller jobs. I have been looking at some jobs that will actually utilize the skills that I've learned in the military, but unfortunately, you know, people just don't care whether you're, I mean, they care that you're a vet because you're a, you know, tax write-off, but you know, they don't care if you don't have the certificates behind those skills. I mean, I have 6 years worth of it, but it doesn't mean the jack shit, so I should, you know, get these certificates. But yeah, I should probably just, you know, suck it up and get a job, maybe like at GameStop, you know, maybe work a couple of days, maybe holidays at Walmart here. Definitely been looking at those, you know, just to get some funding in here to fund not only my life here, but these projects. But yeah, I was making this Patreon page, and I'm just like, I don't know how to Photoshop or nothing like that, and I need to learn. I really need to learn to get myself better. I didn't grow up with these programs. I grew up with the basics: Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Yeah, and I should learn how to do these. I learned how to do OBS and streaming, the audio. I learned all that through YouTube, which is Aussie is mentioning in chat here. Yes, I learned all that through YouTube. Tutorials, watching other people, repetitiveness. I really think that's the best way for me to learn. I don't know, this is like going off topic, but I think my best way, I've gone to school almost for a lot of times, and it wasn't until I got into when I was getting into the military, the way they train you, they show you right there. Like, they tell you how to do it at first, but then they show you right then and there, like right after, like, this is how you do it, this is how it looks like when you're doing it. You just have to repeat what I'm doing, and that's how I learned a lot of things. Like, a lot of things I never did think I would do, I learned that way while I was in. But even when I'm doing these OBS and streaming and set up the audio and getting the Xbox and my computer, how I was building it, you know, all that in YouTube tutorials. Just looked up somebody's video and just repeated what they did. I really think that's the best way I've ever learned anything. And it's gonna suck when I go back to school, because it's not gonna be like that anymore. Or maybe I could go to a skill school, but those are not even like considered good. Maybe unless you're like a plumber or maybe like a carpenter or something. But I don't think I was ever fit out to be like a plumber or a carpenter. I think I was more fit out to be something a little bit more, I don't know, intelligent wise. You know, I was supposed to be a smart kid or something. But yeah, I need to definitely learn all those things. You know. No, I'm not letting this keep me down, though. I am always thinking about how could I improve the stream and the podcast and wherever else I want to do. Maybe learn some HTML on the side while I'm looking at some CSS tutorials. You know, I'm always trying to learn something new about where I can improve this community I wish to build. So when the people do start to come in and flow in, that they will have a very nice, well-respected place. You know, I'm always looking for help too. If you guys want to help, or you have many things that you want to go towards this community, you're more than welcome. If you have any suggestions, or you want to, if you think I should improve on something, you are more than welcome to send me a message. You can hit me up on Skype. I think I have all that linked at the bottom of the channel. You can hit me up on Twitter. Definitely more welcome to. I take criticism. You know, everybody gets butthurt about criticism, but I understand that it's criticism and that you're not trying to insult me and put me down, that you only wish for me to improve and be a better person and probably be the best rebel to ever exist. But I do, you know, I mean, I need criticism, and I'd always appreciate every little tad bit criticism on here. So, yeah. I need to But that is pretty much it for this half-ass podcast. And definitely did not know it was going to go for an hour. But I think that's a pretty good time for a podcast. Definitely a pretty good time. Usually my edited ones are way shorter than that. They're like 20 minutes long because it's just me talking. That's all it really is. But this is just me sitting here talking on stream, you know, no script, minimum guidance, and just me talking. I think I did a pretty good job. Shoot. If you guys have any topics that you want me, because I want to keep the half-ass podcast going, I don't know if I'm going to keep it on this time. I don't know. I'm definitely set a time for it. I kind of want to keep doing these. But if you have anything that you want me to talk about, or you have any things that I could talk about, or you want me to improve on these live podcasts, maybe you want me to throw some more people in, or whatever suggestions you guys have for these half-ass or these live podcasts, please do. You're more than welcome. If you have any questions right now, this is the time to ask them. It doesn't have to be anything dealing with what I talked about today. It can be anything else. I don't really care. It doesn't even really have to be about the games. I would prefer it to be my gaming, but if you just really need to know what is the equation for a black hole, I guess, you know, I guess I can Google the equation for a black hole for you. Where is Fluffums? Fluffum is currently, if y'all don't know, if y'all didn't put two and two together, Fluffums was my co-worker, which means Fluffum was also in the military. So he is currently still stationed at the previous station I was at, was at. He is actually online right now. I'm looking at my Xbox Live. He's actually home right now. He's doing okay. He's going to be actually moving pretty like sometime next year, like sometime early next year. He's going to actually be changing stations. He's going to be going across the country from where we were at. But he's doing good. He's doing good. I told him that I want to get him also in on this, you know, but Fluffums, let me say it, Fluffums, he's very supportive of me. He understands what I want to do, and he is very supportive of me. But I know Fluffum also has his own priorities too. Okay, and you know, I know you guys enjoy having him on here, but I don't know if Fluffums really is like down to do it. You know, like I'm down to do it. You know, like this is what I want to do. But Fluffums, I think he has other priorities. So I don't really. I ask him if he wants to do it, and if he says no, I'm not gonna like beg him to do it. You know, like to be on or be involved. But he's more than welcome to like, you know, join up or whenever I ask him. You know, but he actually gave me some pretty good advice. But he's doing good though, guys. He's doing good. Next time I will let him know how to. Next time I'll let him know when I will be doing this, so he can decide whether he wants to be on it or not. Do I have a PSP emulator? No, I do not. I don't have any emulators. I don't use any emulators. I don't really believe in using any emulators. I really don't. I would rather just work on the games that I have now, because I have well over 300 something games already. I don't need to be like using like a emulator to give me even more games to play. No, I don't have a PSP emulator. How are you doing, Commander Duel? Welcome to the Half-Ass Robo Podcast. This is the end of it. You missed kind of most of it, but it's okay. I'm just glad you guys showed up. If any of you guys have any questions, this is the time to ask them. But if not, I will have to actually stop the podcast, and I will probably be returning later on tonight with a normal stream, would be playing Monster Hunter. You know, but what did you guys think? What did you guys think of this like right now? I got a question for you guys. Well, if you guys think of this right now, what do you guys think of this right now? Like, do you like me doing these live podcasts? Would you want me to be on a camera somewhere on screen here? Because then if I'm on camera, then you'll be seeing me look at my big green book, looking at the topics I'm going to talk about here. Which looks at how many hours Oh, Monster Hunter file. I don't know actually. I don't know how many hours on Monster Hunter file. Where you want to work at? What do I want to work at? I would rather work somewhere that would utilize my medical skills that I learned while I was in. You know, or utilize some of them. They don't have to utilize all of them. I don't need to be drawing anybody's blood or anything like that. But if they want me to work records or help file medical paperwork, yeah, most definitely I can do that. You know, but if they do need me to draw blood, I will have to let them know that, hey, you know, I got 6-year experience. I'm probably not going to miss this person, but you know, I just want to let you guys know I'm not certified. But if y'all willing to let me draw blood, I will draw all the blood in the world. I don't care. Need me to do IVs, I will give you all the IVs. You know, need me to be patient, need me to screen patients, I know how to do patient screening. I will screen all the patients in the world. You know, but if they just need me to do the paperwork, that's why I intend to put my applications in for my job. I tend to put them in for applications for more of the administrative side, because I know how to do the administrative, the paperwork, record keeping, even the secretary scheduling patients and all that. I know how to do all that. It's not hard. It's not hard. Medical work, it's not hard. As long as you have a smile on your face and you respect the person that you're talking to, you know, you tend to get even the most rowdiest patient, you know, the calm down. You know, phlebotomy. Yes, I had 6 years of phlebotomy due to my skills in the military. I've learned how to draw blood while sitting on the chair and riding the back of a Humvee at 60 miles an hour. So I have a lot of these skills, but nobody's not going to take me without the certs, unfortunately. And I understand that. I mean, I do try. Like some of these phlebotomy jobs, they don't ask for certs. They're like, oh, we don't ask for certs. We prefer it, but we don't ask for it. And I'm just like, well, I have 6 years of experience of drawing blood. And then they're like, oh, we'll just take this young buck who just got out of school, who has a cert, who's probably never done a blood draw. But anyway, hey, that's them. I'm not hating on them. That's just how the ball rolls in the court. You know, I did have a job call me for an interview the other day. You know, I did have a job call me for the interview the other day, and they said I was one of their top 3 people they wanted to hire, and they gave me an interview. And to tell you the truth, guys, I don't think I sold myself very well. I have not been on a job interview in 6 years. Okay, I have not been on a job interview in 6 years. So when I went to go do this interview, I think I blew it. I really did. I really think I blew it. Welcome, guys, to the chat. This is the end of the podcast. I hate to say it, guys. We're at the questions. So if you guys have any questions, whether it's gaming related, I would prefer it to be gaming related. But if it's not gaming related, that is fine. I have no problem revealing my life to you guys. If you really want to know my life, like what's my fapping material. Anyway, what did you guys who are here, what do you guys think about this? Do you like hearing my sexy voice talking? Do you need me to have a cam? I would really like to know something from you guys who are in the audience. Like, do you like me sitting here and talk? I mean, I don't think I'm a great conversationalist when the camera's on. but if you guys hate it or like it, what you think I could improve, would you like to have someone here talking with me to discuss on the podcast? When is the next one? I don't know. Probably next week sometime. I will do another next week. If I don't find me a job. I'll probably be doing one next week. I probably want to keep it on weekend. I'm probably gonna make it on a Saturday. I think Saturday will be a better time. 'Cause Sunday, people watching football, sports, basketball. You know, there's a lot of sports going on right now. I'm not gonna say sports are bad. I like watching football. I'm just not like, I like watching it, and that's about it. I don't keep up with anything else. And I have a team that I like, and it's always I know the sexy voice, especially singing I Kissed the Girl. Oh god, that was the best one. I enjoy your commentary. If you feel more comfortable when I can, what did I say? Do your thing, bro. Oh, thank you. No, but I could podcast it with Fluffums. Okay, I will contact Fluffums and I will see how does he feel about doing a weekly podcast live about topics. I mean, he can come up with the topics, I can come up with the topics. This is not really like a super guided, heavily edited podcast. It's just me sitting here, just rambling along, at things. So yeah, I will contact Fluffums. I know a lot of you guys like Fluffums. Some of you newer people don't know who Fluffums is. Fluffums is my co-worker I used to work with at my last. Well, he was stationed with me at my last command. He was a really good friend of mine. He was also I think he was a more of an open gamer than I was, because I have a little bit more experience than him with games. Like, I guess I played more games than him, but he was a little more open, very positive, also extremely weird. But he can definitely keep a conversation going. Me and him would have tons of talks. He became super popular with the viewers here on my stream. Fluffum is loved by everyone on on my stream. For you, this is just a little info for you new guys. He is pretty much a character on my stream here, or a known personality, just like Trapstar and Mari. But definitely will try. I will call him, or I'll hit him up on Xbox Live here and ask him how does he feel about doing a weekly podcast. I will check that out for you, Aussie. I'm pretty sure he will be down for it. Maybe I'll try to keep him on as much as possible. But when he starts to transition, that's going to be kind of hard for me to get to him until he gets settled. But I will try to keep him on this Half-Azzed podcast as much as possible. Was that too much information? I don't know. That bad? I don't think it was bad. But was there anything else anybody else want to ask me? Because I'm about to end it here pretty soon. That's 2 hours now. This thing. Oh, yeah, it's been an hour. I'm sorry. This thing's been an hour. I'm sorry. I'm about to say like 2 hours. You telling me I'm just sitting here 2 hours talking, looking at this big green book? I'm writing this down too. I'm writing this down. Definitely. There will be more karaoke streams. 12/10. I think the next one is going to be at Christmas. Last year, 12/10, I did a Christmas karaoke stream. Super big hit. Super big hit. Everyone likes. That's what started it all, really. I'm the admin of Fluffum's official fan page. Oh God, yes you are. You are the admin. Yeah, I will be doing more. I probably won't do it till Christmas though. I'm very specific about these things that I do. Like, everybody knows the Rebella thing. Everybody knows the Goose Staff. The Rebella, the Goose Staff. Everybody also remember the Jedi Gamer thing. I'm very specific when I do those things. And I don't want to wear them out. I want them to keep fresh. So I don't try to do them like all the time. I'm very cautious about how much I do it, when I do it, and how do I do it. I'm very cautious about those kind of things. And I don't want to wear those things out. What games do I plan to play in the future? In Halo and Monster Hunter, probably Halo. There's going to be some Fallout 4. I'm going to do Fallout 4 on my PC. I know you guys don't see me play on my PC a lot. When I first started streaming, I was just a mainly PC game. That was back in the days. I used to play a lot of XCOM, a shit ton of XCOM. That was probably my biggest hit game, was XCOM. Everybody loved me playing XCOM because I would make everybody a character and just get them killed off. But anyway, there's gonna be some Fallout 4. There's going to be some XCOM 2 in the future. Unfortunately, due to lack of funds, I don't know other games. If you want to donate a game to me, I hate to say that. I mean, if you want to, I'm not asking you to. All right, if you want to, I will probably play whatever game you donated to me. I have like 300 something games on Steam, so I have plenty of games to play in the future. They're probably going to be. I probably will play Witcher 3 eventually on stream. I don't know if I should go through. I don't really care if people spoil it for me. I'm not like too butthurt. It's the journey that I care about, not what happens at the end. I can do some other games too. If you guys ever want to look at my Steam profile, I have 300 games on there. If you have me on Xbox Live, I believe you can look at the games I have on there. On my Mr. Rebel Havoc profile, I have 2 profiles. Don't ask why. Which I'll probably going to end up switching to the other one anyway. But anyway, you can look at my Steam profile. So many games on there. If you want to play a game off there, just let me know. If it's not in the middle of a playthrough, then I will make room. I need to start making more room for that. But yeah, there will be Fallout 4. There will be Halo, and I will continue to play Monster Hunter. I consider Monster Hunter my game of October, since it's like, you know, Halloween. Everybody want to play a scary game, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna play a game with giant monsters, and that is Monster Hunter. I will probably continue to play Monster Hunter. I'll probably cut down on some of the times on it, unfortunately, you know, but it will still be played. I'm not gonna play until I get like that fucking sword, that long sword that looks like a Dynasty Warrior spear. I probably won't stop until I get that. Can my comp run Fallout 4? I'm pretty sure it can. I have a GTX 770 with 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I got an i7. I'm running an i7. I'm pretty sure if it can't run it on the max, it could probably run it on the medium settings, and that will be just as much fine for me. And my 770 has 4 gigabytes of VRAM, so I'm pretty sure I can run Fallout 4 no problem. Yeah, like Bethesda games are not very graphics intensive, so they don't tend to be like, you know, blowing your computer up. Now maybe the only game I would probably worry about is Battlefront, because that game looks like it's graphics intensive. But I don't think I'll have a problem running like Fallout 4. Like, I look at the gameplay videos of Fallout 4, and I look like I can run that. That does not look like it's gonna blow up my computer at all. Let me take a look. I'm looking up Fallout 4. Hey, but yeah, how did you know? How did you know, Steam? That's the game I was looking for. Come on. What? And also, how did you know you never take me to the game? Here we go. Okay, let's look. Let's take a quick look at the system requirement. 7 or 8. Okay, i5. Yeah, this is the minimum. i7. Okay, I got that. 8 gigabytes of RAM. I have 16. 780. Oh wow, really? Or AMD R9. Damn. Okay, I might have to like change up a little bit. I might have to like adjust some graphics. But yeah, I found out my laptop can run it on medium low. Yeah, I can pretty sure I can run this game. I have very confidence of my. I mean, the minimum requirements are a GTX 550. That would be like my streaming computer right now, you know. But yeah, I can run Fallout 4. But is there any more questions here before I end the podcast here? It is still open. If you guys don't have anything for me, I will be ending the podcast. But I really appreciate all you guys coming out and listening to me rant. Those who came, really appreciate it. If you don't have any more questions here, I will be ending here the stream, the podcast stream here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I will be this should be uploaded to YouTube with no problem, because I'm also dual streaming this to YouTube. You can always check out this podcast at YouTube. I'm terrible at linking my YouTube because I don't have a link for it made yet, but I will link that for you guys afterwards in the chat. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it, and definitely give me a lot of more confidence, which is what I need. If someone is going to something like this, that's one thing we do need, is confidence and people who believe in what you can do. And I really appreciate you guys. I know I may not seem like it, but I really do. I really do appreciate it. You know, I didn't think I could do this back in the day. You know, when I was in high school or something. I would never thought that I could do something like this, and I really do appreciate those who do come out, because you give me the confidence to continue doing this. Though my audience may be very small, but I promise you we will grow very big. Thank you guys for hanging out. You guys are awesome. Every single one of you come out here to hang out with me, whether it's this podcast stream or just a regular stream. Those who go look at my 2 podcasts on my YouTube video, I promise I will upload the rest. I promise. But I really appreciate it, and you guys are awesome. As always, remember to not rebel responsibly, because that is totally wrong. I'm getting some new stuff made, guys. I totally spelled rebel wrong. Not rebel responsibly, it's rebel responsibly. As always, remember to rebel responsibly, to be a responsible gamer, and to respect not only yourself but all the other gamers out there. You know, don't ever forget that. And shit, that applies to all forms of life. I will see you guys later. Thanks for hanging out with me, and goodbye. All right. Oh yeah. Hold on. I gotta do the outro music. I made this outro music for some things, and I will see you guys later.